is my first video of the year. I thought I would actually do it on a fireworks kit that I received for Christmas. It is called Tarheel Pyro, and it comes from Skylighter. And they are not paying me in any way. I didn't get anything free other than getting it for Christmas. And so this is my non-biased opinion about it. I really wish I'd have had something like this when I first got started. And this is geared simply for the novice. It is goes over 10 different projects. And what is supplied is chemicals and all the chemicals you'll need for it. And the nice thing about it is that it's just enough to do the project. So, and instead of buying a pound of everything you might need to do these, you get like 4 ounces in this case of the charcoal. And it supplies the most of the fuse that you'll need. It supplies tubes that you need, a scale for measuring, small tube for the ball shells, other tubes that you'll need, and it also provides tooling that you'll need, most of the tooling. Now, there's still going to be a lot of pieces that you have to buy as far as tools go, and it'll be, scissors or cutters and that sort of thing. And they're all listed in the book, which, by the way, you get an online book, which I printed out to have it to go by. But the nice thing about the online book is that it also has links to little videos showing it, certain pieces of it. So that's very, very helpful. And so the other things that you might need, though, are listed in the front of this book. I also did an earlier video showing all the basic tools for doing fireworks that you would need. And one important thing, especially this time of year, it is winter time, and so it's very dry and staticky. And so I always, before I start any working out here, is I get this static guard and I spray myself, and I spray the little surrounding area to try to minimize the any static that could cause any issues. But anyway, so I'm not gonna go over this step by step with everything. I'm going to go over certain things just to kind of give you a feel for how these projects go, and if that's something you might want to do. But like I said, it is definitely geared towards the novice, and I do wish I had had it starting out. So if you're new, wanting to get started, or you've just gotten started, then I would suggest getting this actually, and it's a little pricey in my opinion, but the tools are specialty tools, and so they don't, there's not manufactured a lot of them, so you can't really get the prices down on some of that. But like I said, to prevent you from having to buy just so much chemicals that you may or may not use again, that it's a great little kit for that. So anyway, we'll continue on, and I'll show you some more of the parts and pieces of it. Okay, so one of the first projects you'll be doing in this book is building a mine. And a mine is basically some effect that burns or is lit from the ground up. So it comes out of the tube basically lit, unlike a shell that goes up in the air and then goes off. So it comes with a number of bases, a number of tubes for these, and you glue them in the base, and I've already done this on this one. You drill a hole in the bottom and you insert a fuse. And so I've already got that done on this one. And you have a number of these, and they are reusable, so that's pretty cool. And what the lesson has you doing is building a flying fish mine. And the flying fish are actually fuse that you cut into lengths, and this was the tail end of the fuse. There's 2 different colors, and so I'm going to use just these pieces in a mine, but in the actual lesson you'll be doing it a little bit differently. They'll be in a little teeny bundle that you'll insert as one. But so what you do is you take your powder And this is one thing you will have to purchase, is powder for like doing muzzle loading guns. Anyway, you take a level teaspoon of that. I'm going to get one of my funnels. And you put a level teaspoon of powder in. And then I like to put a piece of paper on top of that, so I'll just insert a piece of tissue paper. Then we'll take the pieces of fuse, the flying fish fuse, drop those down in there. Which are getting hung in my funnel. There we go. And then take another piece of tissue and put that on top. And this last piece of tissue is basically just to keep any sparks from getting in there, or if it turns over, the contents coming out. And it's ready to go at that point. You light it, and the flying fish basically are like bees. They just gonna fly all around when they come up and out of the tube. And I'll show a little video of this effect. But that's a basic mine. And further on in the lesson, you'll be building stars, and you can actually shoot stars out of here, the same that you would have in a ball shell. But in the case of these, they will be lit coming out of the tube, and so it'll be almost like a comet effect coming out. But you can do a combination. I did some with the stars and flying fish, and did different kinds of stars with it. And so really, your imagination is the limit here. Mines are great little devices, and anyway, that is one of the projects you'll be doing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is make some composition for doing stars, or pressing stars. This particular composition is a charcoal star mix, and it's basically the ingredients for black powder, except you will be adding dextrin. So it's potassium nitrate, charcoal, sulfur, dextrin, and there's different, of course, different percentages. And it's all listed in the book, and how that goes, and the amounts that you will use, and how you screen them. But I'm going to start from where I've already got it screened and mixed thoroughly. I'm going to transfer it into my scales, onto another container in my scales. We're going to add water to it. So let me do that. I'll do a portion of it. So I'll just simply weigh my composition. I've got it in here, and it is 50 grams is the amount that I've put in here. And so I want to put 10% in it, and it'll tell you differently or exactly the ounces in there. But basically what I do is I'll put 10% liquid, water in this case. Sometimes you put alcohol as well. And I will simply put it till I get 55, I'll add it until I get 55 grams. That'll be 10% of my solution, or of my water. So I put it in a separate little container, and then I will mix it up thoroughly. And it needs to be dampened, but it's pretty crucial on how much you put in there. If you get it too much, it won't dry properly. If you don't get enough, it won't press properly. So I just simply keep mixing it up until I get it pretty thoroughly mixed, and it will be more of a crumbly look to it, not as powdery as it was. Airflow charcoal goes everywhere, so be very careful with that when you're messing with it. Make sure you wear a mask, and it will get everywhere. So okay, so I've got the composition ready for pressing the stars. Okay, so once I have my composition mixed thoroughly, I take the tool that they provide is basically a aluminum rod and a aluminum sleeve, and it's made to make 3/8 inch diameter by 3/8 inch length stars. And it comes with a hole in the side that you simply put a toothpick in. You slide the sleeve up until it touches the toothpick, and that leaves you right out at 3/8 inch depth inside the end. You hold it against the toothpick. We'll press it down in our solution several times to fill that void. Place it on something solid. I like to use a little block. Pull the toothpick out, and then we're gonna hand ram this with our mallet several times. Then you take and hold the sleeve, and you push on the rod, and you push the star out. So there is a pressed star, and I put that on a drying, well, on a screen. That's what I put them on until I take them to my drying box and dry them. But you'll have to dry these in the sun or somewhere with proper ventilation, and let them dry till they are hardened. And we'll be using these you'll be using these for several of the different projects in there. So I'm going to keep making these until I use all my composition up. But let me show you one more time how that works. Toothpick in the hole, fill up the void, my compound, pull the toothpick out, hit it numerous times, slide it out, and there you go. So, like with everything in fireworks, it's a tedious process typically, so it'll take a while to go through all the compound, but like I said, we'll be using these throughout for making shells, and you can use these in your mines as well. So anyway, that's how they make these, and anyway, we'll go on to the next thing. Okay, another fun project in the book is making hummers. And a hummer is a tube with a clay plug in each end. In the center is black powder, just the base of black powder. It's not made into the granulated. And there's a fuse sticking out of both sides that are offset. And that causes it to spin when it lights. And it makes a loud humming noise. And they're really cool. So let me show you how these are made. We start off with the tube and put a tape on the end. And you'll notice I've got a black line drawn down it with a dot on opposite sides of the line for drilling. And I'm going to insert first some bentonite clay. And if you buy the kit, you'll have this. But in the past, when I've needed to put a plug in, I've used actually the cheap cat litter, which is a clay material, and it will compact too. But anyway, the kit comes with this, so we'll use it. So we take our funnel that's included with the kit, and put it on the end of that. We will put a 1/4 teaspoon of bentonite clay in the end, and this comes with a little plate with spindles, and there's space on one end that you can use for doing this. I'm just going to set the end of this on that end of the plate, we use our little ram that was included, and we're going to use our mallet, and we're going to hammer and compact that clay to make a plug. So I'm going to pull that out, open the container back, and dump any loose in there. And you can see on the bottom, that actually gives us our little plug, clay plug. So I'm going to put that paper back, tape back on it. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to compress some in little segments. We're going to compress black powder in here, and then black powder you will make from the kit, and the base is ungranulated. So this is not like granules of black powder. This is just the powder itself, and there'll be enough in the kit to make all the projects. So we'll take a little under quarter teaspoon. We'll put in there. We'll cover our black powder back up. Always keep cover on your compounds when you're not using them. We'll put our ram in there, and we will ram that first amount of black powder. We'll add a little more, and that should get us just below the halfway mark of our tube. Okay, so we'll ram that. Alright, so that should get us down right below the halfway mark. You dump out any loose powder. Now, typically you want to be, well, always, you want to be very careful doing this. What we're going to do is actually drill a hole in here with the material in there. The material should be below the halfway mark, so we shouldn't be getting any friction. But just be very, very careful with that in the area. Make sure we have anything that can possibly be flammable out of the way. The kit comes with a little jig here with a little piece in the middle that our drill bit's going to go in, and the drill bit is also included with the kit. So we place our tube in there, and we're going to line up our hole. So you can see that first hole there. Or that dot where the first hole is going to be. We're going to slide it down until it is over top of, or until it is lined up with this little shaft. We're going to take our drill that we've already got, and this is a battery powered drill, and put it in there, and we're going to drill all the way into the tube, but not through the other side. So really it's set in here where it can't go all the way through if it bottoms out. Okay, so I got a little loose powder in there. Alright, so then we're going to turn this back around, line it up with the second hole on the opposite side, and really it's not quite opposite, it's offset a little bit. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to drill a hole there. Okay, so now we're going to put fuse in. Remove our jig. And the fuse, this particular fuse is not included with the kit. This is little strands of black match that come out of a quick match. You can purchase the paper wrapped quick match, I believe from Skylighter. You unwrap it and you can take out the little single strands of black match. And we're going to put little pieces in, slide them all the way in. One in each side. Remember, these will be offset now. And then we will put more black powder in top, and that will lock these in place. So now we want to put black powder in until we have about a 1/4 inch space left for our other plug. powder. Okay, I'm going to dump out the loose powder. That should leave about a 1/4 inch. Then we will we'll take our clay mixture, our bentonite, and we'll put another teaspoon of that in there. And we're going to compact that, and that should plug the other end of the hammer. Okay, and dump the extra out. We'll remove the funnel, and you can see that's pretty even with the end, that last plug. So that's the Hummer, and I will shoot one of these and include that with this video so you can see. But these are really nice. You can shoot these in your mines. These can be included in larger shells. I wouldn't put them in the smaller shells. That's part of this lesson, but these can be shot out of your mines for sure. So anyway, that's how those are made. Pretty interesting, and those are really, really nice little effects. Okay, another project in the book is making fountains, and these are very interesting, and of course everything is included that you need. We're going to be using these tubes that are included, and along with the kit, the tools will have a solid aluminum block with various sizes of spindles, and the tubes fit right over the spindles. And we're going to use the small one for making these fountains. So first thing we're going to do is put our funnel on top. We're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of bentonite clay that comes with it. We're going to use the ram that comes with it that has a hole in the middle of it. So make sure you use that when you're on top of the spindles so you don't damage the spindles. So we're going to ram this clay with our mallet. We're going to dump out any excess that we may have, and when we pull this off and look at it, you'll see that it makes a hole in the middle of it. It makes actually the little nozzle. And you've got to be careful not to put too much clay in there. If you do, then the hole will be sealed and your fuse won't go all the way in there. You need to make sure you have enough to contain, to actually have a good nozzle, a solid nozzle there. So we'll carefully slide that back on top here. And I may even compress that one more time to make sure that we're good to go there. Make sure it's still solid. And now we want to start putting increments of our mixture. And this was going to be have a titanium mixture in with our base powder that's part of the lesson. This is going to give us more sparking for our fountains. And we're going to do this in 1/4 inch increments. And we're going to have to, here again, make sure we don't hit our spindle. And the book will explain this. So the first increment or two, we'll be using our rod that has the hole in the middle.
we're going to keep doing this until we get the compound up to about 1/4 inch from the end of the tube. Okay, so this is about 1/4 inch from the top. Now we will add 1/4 teaspoon of clay for the bulkhead. Okay, and we'll knock any leftover bentonite back in the container. Take our funnel off. Easily pull this off the spindle. So you can see that that end has a solid bulkhead. This end has the nozzle. And so from there, you will insert your a piece of visco fuse through the hole in your nozzle, and you may have to, depending on the size of your visco, you may have to sway the hole a little bit to get it in there, but be careful not to damage the nozzle. You stick the visco fuse down in there, and then tape it to a dowel of some sort. I've got a wooden chopstick here, but you can use skewers. Tape it to that, stick it in the ground, and light it, and you've got a fuse. And if you're going to be handling these mugs or transporting them, I would put a piece of tape around the top of this, mash it in so the fuse doesn't try to come out. But I'll include a video of this, and it's a really cool little project for doing fountains. Anyway, enjoy.